Hello, welcome back to Diary of a Alcoholic. My name is Dorothy, and today we have my February reading thoughts. It is February 1st when I'm starting this video, so I did finish a few books the last couple days of January. I finished Murder at an Irish Castle by Ellie Bunyan. I gave this 4 stars. It's a mystery that takes place in a castle in Ireland. Our main character ends up getting scammed by her business partner and finds out her uncle has passed away and has left something in his will for her, all around her birthday too. So I think she just turned 30 or something like that. She's in her 30s at least. Do remember that. And she gets to Ireland. She meets her uncle's lawyer, and before meeting the lawyer, she meets up with the housemaid, or who she thinks is the housemaid. And she's like, well, can we just go to the castle so I can freshen up, blah blah blah. And the housemaid is very rude, very dismissive of her needs, and won't tell her anything. Won't tell her why she can't go to the castle, nothing like that. All to find out when she gets to the lawyer, her uncle has left her and a cousin she didn't know she had, her uncle's daughter, who is the woman who picked her up from the airport. So with all that going on, it explains the rudeness, but this whole thing is she has to stay in Ireland for a year and help improve the castle if she even wants to sell the property. Now, her uncle also left the same property to his daughter. They were both supposed to work together on this property. And you see them butt heads constantly because our main character is very high fashion, like high maintenance type person. And she's very modern. Well, the castle doesn't even have Wi-Fi. So it's like she's trying to talk her cousin and the rest of the people who work for her uncle into kind of becoming part of the modern era, but also keeping the Irish castle charm. And in this one, we find out that her uncle was murdered. It was no accident what happened to her uncle. So with that said, we find out who did it. I sure in hell did not see who the killer was. It is such a minute character that I didn't see it coming. There's a time I thought it was her cousin and her cousin's fiance, but I did not see the killer from a mile away. The next thing I read, or that I picked up and read in January, is the Heartstopper Yearbook by Oseman. This was just a cute, like, kind of like behind the scenes thing to read, that she goes over different things about the Heartstopper series she wrote, the graphic novel series. She goes over, like, she had their character profiles, there's how the process started and each year what happened those years from, I think it was 2016 and then forward. She also has sections where she teaches you how to draw certain characters and stuff, and like how to do Charlie's and Nick's face and how to draw poses and stuff a little bit. And she talks about different fan arts and stuff and different she's drew them in like different art styles and stuff like that. And she also talks about how her art style has changed over the years. And I gave that 5 stars. The next thing I finished, which was I think on the 31st, was Witch 13 by Patrick R. Delaney. This is, I don't even know where to start with this one because it's hard to tell what this book was really about per se. We follow Sterling, who is the sheriff of a small little nowhere town, and one day before Christmas all hell breaks loose and people are dying. The weather is crap. It's pouring down rain. The phones won't work. Electricity has gone out multiple times. Sterling is called to City Hall by one of her deputy's wives. Well, comes to find out, you find out during the book that she has slept with this deputy. Because there's a scene in the beginning where his wife slaps her. So Sterling's already a morally gray character, and some of the things she does in this book, it's hard to say if she's in the right or wrong. I can see where she comes from because her deputy's wife does die, and she kind of pulls that information from him until the very end, and she's watching everyone die around her, but her deputy's son and her is the only one to survive basically in this whole thing. And it's just, it feels like the author just wanted to throw a bunch of people into this scenario and just have a witch be the cause of all the chaos that is happening that night. And the last 5%, 10 to 5% of the book got really, really gruesome. So if you have you're sensitive to that stuff, talk about gore. Probably stay away from this book because it's not too bad in the beginning, but that end, he just describes in detail how people are being killed in a way. Talks about, I'm not even going to go on it. It's graphic. It had me sitting there like, what the hell am I reading? But the tone changes at the end. The whole time before, it's very slow going, very something happens and then it dies down and then something happens. It's very eerie, but it's not gruesome. Like, before that, the worst thing that happened is one of the, what are they called? I can't think of the person who answered your phone call when you called 911. I can't think what they're called. Top of my head. Is mauled by a bear. That's the most gruesome before. He doesn't even go in detail. There is a child that gets killed in the beginning by the witch's hat somehow. And it doesn't go into great details about what that happened. But, my thoughts are still scattered with that one. I got it through NetGalley, so I did have to write a review. I left one on NetGalley. I think I posted it on Goodreads, but I ended up giving it like a 3.5 stars. It's just very strange. And there was something, what upsets me a little bit is there's something that was there. It felt like it poorly executed in a way. And maybe just whatever the author was doing went over my head. That could happen. I am not the smartest person out there. And I know that. But aside from that, I haven't finished anything else. I'm still currently reading Physically Awakening, the 5th book in the Sweep series by Cate. I'm on page 64, 65, somewhere around there. Only 65 because that's the start of the next chapter. I am annotating this, a little here, a little there. I kind of forget what happened in each book except for like the first one and like the last two, because the first 13 books are very close. They happen within probably a year of each other. So this one, don't want to say too much, but something happens with Morgan and Cal that is very traumatic for Morgan. She's trying to process it for this book, while also learning to trust Hunter, which is Cal's half-brother. So that's what's happening in this one. Basic, generic as I can make it. So I'm a little under halfway through this. I'm going to read a little bit in the tub later, and probably when I curl up in bed, I'll read a little bit of this tonight, because I kind of been switching off between that and Catalyst, which I'm on page 206. This one is the sequel to Control by Linda Kane. And in this one, so far what I've gotten is the government is trying to basically eliminate anyone who has like some type of I don't want to say mutation, but it is kind of a mutation. That sounds so negative, but that's the only thing I can think of is a trait that they have. And there's another group besides Zell's group that is using the traits as like kind of like a drug or something you can sell to normal people. And in the first one, something happened that is making the government want to outlaw all of that. And Zell had to kind of go into hiding along with a few of her friends and an enemy. She's split up from a bunch of her friends right now, and it's in a kind of dangerous place because the leader there is very manipulative and very controlling. He won't bring in medicine for the sick kids that are there and stuff like that. So he's wanting everything to be under lock and key, and he wants to use her as a kind of like a poster child figure, like someone to parade around, because her father is the one who created them, and she has a very special type of trait. And that's all I'm going to say about this. I also have been reading Blood and Mercy. I only read a little bit of it today and yesterday, along with I picked up Begin Again by Emma Lord. I'm on chapter 2, about 2% of the way through it. Not much really to say about either one of them. I'm trying to get back into Blood Mercy, and Begin Again I just started. So as for an audiobook, I picked up Through Libby, the 3rd book in the LA Candy series by Conrad, called Sugar and Spice. I think I read the first 2 last year, if not last year, the year before. They're very much like popcorn reads. They aren't the best, but they are that like reason you watch reality TV, which it's a book based off a person who's being filmed for reality TV. So there's that drama, fake friends, fake dating, all that drama while being in LA and all that shenanigans. These aren't the best books to me, and they are very dated feeling a little bit, but there's something about them. They are very, just sit down and listen to them, or have them going while I'm cleaning the house or using my coloring app on my phone, something to just sit there and zone out with. And I don't have to really pay attention to something, whereas I would for a fantasy book. So with that said, that's all I have for now. When I finish one of the books or something has more to say about the books, I'll update you guys. This isn't going to be a daily thing. Like I said last month, the daily thing was getting a little too much for me between work and taking care of other things and having a social life. It all got to be a little much, especially since I don't like to film on the weekend unless it's just a quick clip or something like that. So with that said, that's all I have for this one. I'll see you in the next clip. Guys, here with another update. I haven't gotten as much reading as I wanted to do this weekend. I've been sick. You can tell from the first clip. You can tell in my throat I'm kind of coughing. My voice isn't 100%, but all last week I was sick. I was able to finish the Awakening Book 5 in the Sweep series by Cate Tiernan. Obviously this is a 5-star for me. This is a reread. I loved it as much as last time, and I saw glimpses of things that I didn't catch the first couple times around. So I didn't annotate it as much as I thought I would, but I did annotate it a little bit. So with that said, I also finished Sugar and Spice Book 3 in the LA Candy series by Conrad. As I've said in the past with these books, they're like a popcorn read. They're not the best writing, but it's like watching reality TV, and that's what it's about, even about 4 girls who are on reality TV. So with that said, not much to the plot really. It's just 4 girls, there's catty drama, they all live in LA, so it's just something to watch, like mindless to read. And it's not a bad thing. I gave it 3 stars, but it's what I call popcorn reads. That's all I finished. I haven't started another audiobook, but my next audiobook is gonna be The Mercy of Snakes by Dean Koontz. That's the next book I have downloaded on my phone. I'll probably finish it. This is like a short story type, so I'll probably finish it either today while doing chores or tomorrow. So it'll be a quick read. I'm still reading Catalyst. I'm on page, I don't think I read that much, page 217. So that's going to be my main focus today, along with chores and editing Wednesday's video, because I'm filming this on Monday, so Wednesday's video needs edited. Yesterday I started the Bunyan Barter by Addie King. This is the 4th book in the Grim Legacy series. This one to the point I'm at, Paul Bunyan has showed up on Janie's doorstep for help to find his kidnapped ox. It also has to deal with Johnny Appleseed. Both of them are folk tales I've heard about, but they aren't like ingrained into my memory, so it might be interesting after I finish this to look up some of those folklores and read them, but I'm enjoying it. I got to page 52 yesterday reading this. As ebooks, I've been chugging along on Blood Mercy. I'm about 45% of the way through that, along with Begin Again by Emma Lord, chapter 4 in that, about 6% way through that. Today at work I started Chainsaw Man Volume 2. I'm about 11% of the way through that, so hopefully I can finish Chainsaw Man this week as just like kind of a breather from the other 2 books. But with that said, that's all I have for this update. I'll see you in a few seconds for y'all, but it'll probably be about a few days with another update. Hey guys, here with another update. It's Friday, I think it's the 10th of February. I should know that. I went to work today, but my brain's not working. I've had a very chaotic day at work, to say the least. I'm on page 244 in Catalyst. Again, I'm hoping this week I can finish it. I have like 100 and something pages left. And I'm on page 74 in the Bunyan Barter. I'm enjoying both books. When I sit down and read, I want to fall asleep because I'm tired. I'm going to keep saying that, but that's just reality of it. That's just the reality of my life right now. I can do with what I have, what I can, so trugging along on those. Thankfully, this weekend I have off. Tomorrow, the only thing I have to do is go to the store and pick up a couple things. I should be able to get reading done as long as my brain will focus. That's been one of my big problems this week. I cannot focus. Last night was the first time I was able to like actually focus on reading, which I'm fine at work on my breaks with focusing. I finished Chainsaw Man Volume 2. I do have something that kind of irks me with it. It's the whole sexualization thing. The main character being just a perv kind of irritates me a little bit because there's more to life than just that. But, and I'm not a prude, it's thrown in your face throughout this book, this volume, and it just kind of got on my nerves a little bit. The first one was cool, the artwork was cool and stuff, but just having our main character being so focused on that one thing kind of threw me off. I got to page 344 in Blood and Mercy, so I'm about 47% of the way through that one. I'm slowly trekking through this one. It's 1 minute it'll have my attention, then it lulls, and I kind of have to step away from it, so it is what it is. I'm about 10% into Begin Again. I got to chapter 6 today. During one of my breaks. I've also picked up The Unbalanced Equation by H.L. McFarlane. I'm only a little bit through this. I think I was like 1 or 2% the way through it. I lost my page now. I'll figure that out later. But other than that, I did end up listening to a little bit of The Mercy of Snakes. I have about 21 minutes and 9 seconds left of it. If I just sat and listened to it as I did my coloring app or something, I could get it done. I just have not been able to focus on anything reading wise for very long. I also haven't been, as I said on Monday's update, I was sick last week, so I'm still kind of recovering from that. So I'm still tired, more easy than before. So we'll see how all that goes, how this weekend goes. Hopefully I can get a lot of reading done. We'll see when I update on Monday. If I remember to update too, because I almost forgot to update today. With that said, I'll see you in the next update. Hey guys, here with another update. So yesterday, since today's Monday, I finished Bunyan Barter. This is book 4 in the Grim Legacy series by Addie J. King. This we follow our main characters from the first 3, JD, Mia, Aiden, Jonah, and Tobias, along with the side characters. You don't see much of Stanley and a few other ones, or Aiden's mom in this one. But they go on a little road trip to help Paul Bunyan save his blue ox. Only to find out it's a trap. It's all a big trap to kind of try to capture them, to keep them, make them kind of like displays in a museum and whatnot. This was a bit of a roller coaster towards the end, I will say that. I don't want to say too much because it is the 4th book in a series. I don't want to say too much about what happens in here because it kind of will spoil a little bit of what happens in the other ones. So I'm almost done with this series. I have one more book, so we'll see when I get to that. But I'll probably give this a 4.5. It wasn't as gripping as the other ones, but I still really did enjoy it. That said, I did read a little bit of Catalyst by Linda Kang. This is just taking me way too long. Probably should put it aside for now, but when I read it, I'm into it. But it's like, I put it down as I don't want to pick it up. I want to pick up other things. So I have like 113 pages. I'm on 284. So hopefully this week, I can finish it. We'll see though. And this morning before work, I picked up Fortuna Swan by KJ Sutton. I'm only about 5 pages into it. I didn't read very much. I didn't have much time this morning, and I wasn't fully awake this morning to really process this, but so far it does have me intrigued and wanting to read more. This is going to be my main read for today. Tomorrow I'll focus more on Catalyst, but this is really, I'm hoping I like this because this is the first book in a series, so we'll see what I think of it. I did finish the audiobook I was listening to last week, The Mercy of Snakes. This is probably going to be like a 3-star for me, 3.5. It's just a short story I did to listen while doing laundry or chores or whatever. Wasn't something that I really was too deeply invested in, so since that one's finished, I did pick up on Libro FM Begin Again by Emma Lord on audiobook. As you know, I did get an e-arc of it through NetGalley. I went ahead and picked up the audiobook so I can listen to it and get a little bit more time with it, since I'm only reading ebooks on my break or right before bed. So with that said, I'm still reading Blood Mercy. I'm on page 350, about 48% of the way through. I also picked up The Unbalanced Equation. I'm only about 4% of the way through that book, and I'll probably go in between the two of those. So read a chapter in one, read a chapter in the next, back and forth until one or both of them are finished, and then go from there. That's all I have really to update you guys on. I didn't read as much as I was hoping to read this weekend. I read mostly more on Sunday than I did Saturday. Seems like I've been having a hard time focusing this last week, but hopefully this week I can focus, get my chores done and everything, and go from there. With that said, that's all for this update. I'll see you in the next one, which probably be, unless I finish the book before Friday, probably Friday, so see you then. Hey guys, here with another, I've been reading Fortuna Swan by KJ Sutton. I'm only about 42 pages into it. I haven't been able to make my brain focus really on this, or any physical reading really. I've just been very tired. But I'm hoping this weekend I can finish, or get most of this read and finish Catalyst. I'm about less than 100 pages away from this. I'm on page 308. So this has some lulls on it. I don't remember the first one being less action-packed than this one is. I remember it having more going on. It just seems like there's a lot of, and there's going to be a lot of lulls because there are traveling and whatnot, but it just feels like there's just a lot of dead space, almost not dead air, but just filler to get them from point A to point B and having some type of drama go on with it. With that said, I have been listening to Begin Again by Emma Lord. I am about 54% of the way through. I have about 2 hours and 44 minutes left. I'm enjoying it. I don't know where it's going yet, but it's main character's in college. She's in her second semester. She had just transferred into her dream college. It's where her parents went. That's the reason why, but her boyfriend was going there, and then he transferred to the college she was going to originally, while she transferred to the college that's her dream college, which is the one that he was going to. But she was trying to surprise him, didn't tell him, and they kind of swap places. And neither one of them is doing as good as they thought they were going to do in that school, so the school they're in. So we have our main character. She's making friends in her new school. Her roommate is a bookstagrammer. She reviews books and stuff. The RA became friends with the RA of her dorm, and she started helping out on this underground radio show that her mom started. So it's all starting to come together and stuff, and I want to see where it goes. I want to see how it ends. Hopefully it ends good. For ebooks, I've been reading Blood Mercy, which I'm about 52% of the way through. That one is just taking me forever because it's a high fantasy book and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of in-depth world building and character building as well. I've also been reading a little bit of The Unbalanced Equation by H.L. McFarlane. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. I'm not sure. I'm about 7% of the way through. I'm on chapter 2. So far, all I've gotten is that PhD student or just graduate and trying to get her post-grad work and stuff, and her teacher, whatever, person who was over her during her advisor, that's what it's called, her advisor, but there's a chapter where it shows them before all that happened, they kind of had a flirty thing going. Then he finds out he was going to be her advisor, so he became a total dick to her, and now they're kind of in an awkward area. That's all I've gotten from it so far. I also picked up volume 4 of One Piece. I'm on about 20% of the way through, page 38. I just started this today, so not very far into it. I just was reading it at work and stuff. So with that said, that's all I've been reading this week. I'll probably do another update on Monday and then go from there. Hopefully today I can get some editing done for tomorrow's video and get everything done within enough time to just sit down and read and not totally exhaust myself doing all of that. So with that said, I'll let you guys go. I'll see you with the next update. Hey guys, here with another update. This past weekend, I did read quite a bit. So let's go with what I finished. So I finished Saturday, I finished Catalyst by Linda Kane. This book, how do I say it? Like, the story and everything is interesting, but the way it ended left so many unanswered questions and was so rushed feeling that it's probably going to be a 3-star. Like, I really enjoyed the concept of the book. The writing was decent, but the way they wrapped up that ending, where they're just trying to throw whatever they can as an ending, I didn't like it at all. It just felt rushed. So I finished that Saturday, along with Begin Again by Emma Lord. This I'll probably give 4.5. It's nothing that's wrong with the story. I really did enjoy the story and the kind of development of a relationship. The girl figuring out different things, different secrets and whatnot, and learning to become her own and getting out from her mother's shadow that she's kind of put herself into. It's just not an all-time fave of mine, which isn't the book's fault. It just didn't become a new favorite, but I would see myself rereading this book again, so I probably will end up picking up a physical copy of this book somehow, at some point. I also finished One Piece Volume 4, and I believe I gave that 5 stars. It's just, each volume is so fast-paced, and it seems like not a lot happens, but it's still gripping and is still entertaining. They make you want to continue reading, so I really do like it. So on to the books that I currently am reading still. For physical books, I'm still reading Front to the Swan. I'm on page 76. This book has me intrigued, for sure. Intrigued enough, I haven't even finished this book and I've picked up the sequel. So I'm hoping to finish this sometime this week. We'll see how tired I am after work and what happens this weekend. But with that said, this is probably going to either be somewhere between a 4 or 5 star because I really do like it. I like the characters. It has me like laughing out loud and different things, just reacting to it, physically reacting to it at times. So, but I'm still not very far into it. Probably say maybe 25% of the way through. Hopefully I can finish it this week. Yesterday, just as a breakup, and I also picked it up, that story yesterday, I was just intrigued. Irish Fairy Tales and Folk Tales by James Stevenson. I just picked it up at the bookstore randomly. I was looking at different mythologies and stuff, and I don't have anything on Irish, so I've been getting into different mythologies and myths and tales and stuff, so figure go ahead and pick this up. I've only read the introduction, which is more about the author. So with that said, this morning I read about 6 pages of Christmas at Timberwoods by Fern Mitchells. This is something I started back in December and I just wasn't reading it that much, so I've only read 6 pages, so I'm on page 30 now. It's starting to pick up now with this read. I just think I wasn't in the mood back in December because it was dragging then, but it's picked up because I read 6 pages within like 30 minutes or something while I'm also on my phone playing games and stuff. So for ebooks, I'm still reading The Unbalanced Equation and Blood Mercy. The Unbalanced Equation, I'm on chapter 3, so I'm about 9% of the way through. And Blood Mercy, I'm on page 387, about 53% of the way through. So I still got a bit in both of those. For an audiobook, I went ahead and reopened my Audible account and I picked up Empire Storms with my credit. I will be reading that, listening to that during this week. Hopefully I can finish it this week. I will be listening to that while I not edit videos, but do my computer work, do house chores, stuff like that. So that's the next audiobook I'm listening to. So with that said, that's all I have for this update. I'll probably have one more update. Actually, most likely I'll have one more update, and that will be Friday. So that said, see you in the next update. Hello, here with another update. It's later in the day that I wanted to film this. I've been busy today, so I got to page 52 in Christmas at Timberwoods. This one isn't fully capturing my attention. It's interesting what's going on, but I really don't care, kind of, so we'll see. I'll give it another maybe 20 pages. If I don't like it, then I'll DNF it. They'll soft DNF it to Christmas time this year. I'm not quite sure where I'm at in this one. I think I'm on chapter 7, so about 79 to... I just haven't had much time for audiobook listening. Hopefully I can listen to it during the weekend at some point and go from there. I am enjoying it, I just don't have time. This I've only read a couple pages, so haven't gotten much more into this, but I really want to focus on this in March more so. This, I got 100 pages and I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. I'm really liking it so far. I just don't have much time to read during the week, so most of my reading during the weekend. So I have like 200-ish pages left, so, or just under 200 pages, so hopefully tomorrow I can finish this book. I also been reading Blood Mercy and the Unbalanced Equation. Both are, the Blood Mercy is just a slow going. I have about 55% of the way through that, about 12% of the way through the Unbalanced Equation. And I also, just a few hours ago, started Chainsaw Man Volume 3. So hopefully I can get one of those 3 ebooks done this weekend. Maybe an audiobook, maybe a physical read. With that said, now, that's all I have for this video. I'll leave a list down below about all the books mentioned in this video, along with my Goodreads, Instagram, and blog. That said, have a wonderful day. Read what you love. Bye.